space. So here, presenting on behalf of Space Ocean Corporation, Paul Mamakos.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Space Ocean is the name of the company, and we are kind of floating in space right now, so welcome to the ocean. We have a team of about 85 people, and it's been good going through this SBIR program because this type of thing can fund the type of technology that we're working on. And the big issue we're looking at is the transport of water in space, resupply to the different space stations. They do it by hand in these bags of water. So there's 1,000 liters of water can take a lot of time for the astronauts to move the water. And water is scarce in space. There are some moons out there, like our moon. There are other moons around different planets that have deep oceans, like 20-mile deep oceans. So we're kind of focused on that, taking video of oceans in space, but also to make money to transport and supply the fluids, whether it be water or even hydrogen and other stuff. So the astronauts always need water to drink and also for life support. So it's a big need. So, and the recycling of the water, you can only maybe recycle 92%, maybe up to 98%, but in a 6-month period, they will go through 20,000 liters of water if they can't recycle it. So this unit costs between $20 and $100 million. So the space stations, it's a big cost for the commercial space stations to buy this equipment. So if we can resupply the water to them, they can hold off on buying this. So we've part of our solution is to get up into space with our. We're developing a satellite. So we have a 1,500 liter capacity satellite that can deliver water to different space stations from Earth. So water from Earth, and eventually we can get it off planet from some of these different destinations that have water, like Enceladus on the right is the moon around Saturn. It would take 6 years to get there with today's propulsion, but there are some other technologies that could get us there quicker. We're starting off around the Earth to supply to space stations. We're shooting for 2027 to do that demonstration of 2 satellites to transfer fluid between the 2 satellites. And the space market today is about $600 billion, and we're looking at our market is about $6.8 billion total addressable market, and the space economy is about $1 trillion in 2032. It's going to double in the next 5 years. Water as a service and infrastructure in space. A satellite that can deliver water in space it's infrastructure. So it's a deep tech investment, it's infrastructure, and angel investors also. But 4.5 billion in the U.S. is the addressable market, and us as a newcomer into the market would be about close to $100 million in our first year, maybe in 2028. This is some of the different competitors, SpaceX with the Dragon, Cygnus with Northrop Grumman. Some of the differentiators are the cost of the vehicle. We're coming in at about $70 million, and that's water into space fully at 1,500 liters of water. So some of the other spacecraft, you can see their capacity, and we don't have any astronauts on board, so we don't need any life support and other types of things like that. So the Cygnus is delivering to we have a letter of interest with one of the 4 commercial space stations, and the Cygnus is their supplier, so we might be able to get in and work that deal. We have some traction. We're currently working on a preliminary design review. We've done the requirements review and the design review already, so we're in this next stage, and we're at a point where we need significant amount of money to get the different software and equipment. So we're looking to do prototyping and bench testing and testing pressures and fluid movement, that kind of stuff. So we're looking, this is just some of the finances, maybe 50% gross margin, and that includes bulk delivery to space. When you do that bulk delivery, you can, if you're launching 1,000 liters of water in a satellite, or if you're launching maybe up to 20,000 liters is what we're designing a satellite to be able to do that, then we can bring down the cost for that. So there's volume savings in the cost to orbit. And another look at some of the finances. On the left is some of the costing of the satellites. About $70 million for 2 identical satellites, and the launch cost is about $2.5 million each satellite launch cost. So it is a little bit expensive. We have a team of 85 people. They have maybe 20 or 30 years in the aerospace sector. These people have joined the team because they're excited about the mission. So if you have a great idea, and if you have a great team and a great board, you can do almost anything. And that was how I started this company, with a great idea. It took me a while to have an idea, but looking at SpaceX and what they were doing down there, looking at big stuff can inspire you to come up with your own ideas. And for me, it was to go out and take video of different oceans in space, and collecting the water where there are oceans is how we can make that profitable. These are some of the steps we're working on for where we're at with the design. Different things I mentioned earlier with the testing and things like that. This is some of the software that we're looking at, about $94,000 worth of software and things like that. This SBIR, this program has helped us get ready to apply for these SBIRs that we need to, with even possibly a direct to phase 2, if we can do that. And we are moving it forward in a good way. So there's a mandated water quality. The astronauts, if they get the water in space and it has certain chemicals in it, they can have issues with their health. So that's one of the main things. It's mandated recurring demand. They need water every day, and you can't recycle all the water. And it's operationally painful with the recycling equipment. So we're looking to solve some of those problems and deliver water to the 4 commercial space stations that are getting developed right now. So thanks.
4 minutes for questions.
Hi, great presentation. I would like to know how far from prototype are you? Like how much funding and what's the timeline you are looking at?
We're looking to do 2 prototypes. We're in that stage now where we could have bought equipment maybe 2 months ago if we had the money. So we're ready to do it. We have the team. We're pivoting right now until we get that money to other satellites. So we're starting to design our next larger satellites like we want to have a tug satellite to pull about 10 of these satellites. These satellites can move around to different orbits on their own, but if we look to go around the moon as well, and then we look to go beyond the moon. So we're starting that IBDR, initial baseline design reviews for those other satellites until we get the money and the software to move this a lot forward in the PDR stage. We're looking to do 2 prototypes. Each one's like $5 or $6 million. So.
All right, thank you.
Wow, this idea is really stretching my brain. Great presentation. One of the questions that we have here is on feasibility and sustainability. I'd like to know, because clearly you know way more about this than I do. Can you share with me from your opinion and your perspective, what are some potential challenges and risks, and what are the mitigation strategies that you and your team have identified?
Yeah, we're always looking to diminish risk. The satellite itself has water thrusters on it, so you can microwave water and turn it into a propellant. And even though one of our fluids we're looking to do is transport water, our engines work off of water. So it's kind of a green satellite. You can imagine it that way. Was there something else I was supposed to talk about?
What are the risks that you're concerned about in the next steps that you're taking?
Okay. In space, one of the risks is if there's a failure and then you got to deorbit this spacecraft. Right now, one of the risks for the preliminary design review. That's a good question. Any thoughts? Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, 18 people in this project is a very expensive and important project. So I would like to, if you can go back to the slide, I just would like to understand better the $40,000. Okay. How are you going to use them?
Let's see if I can do it. Yeah. There's 19 slides, so we're getting there. We passed one for the side, but for the 40,000,
That's one.
there's
That's
about $54,000 worth. Oh, yeah, this is the money's not going to go toward the. I was told the money is supposed to go toward the actual software we would need. But the SBIR, we're applying for $305,000 worth of funding, and that would help us get the $95,000 worth of software and about $35,000 for a prototype, a large for.
That's time. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Paul.
thank you.
Woo! Thank you, everybody.